Okay. Great. Well, thank you once again. This is maybe our last time. Not sure how many last time we have this house, but
Maybe someone say for us.
we can glad to use this place and to have our depot. So hopefully next time we can move over to our new house. The new house, I think the public area is double this space. So it caters for our growth of singles ministry and our Bible talk. Yeah, this is already too tough. So we continue to work on this discipling, the idea of discipling, and then I hope that you really learn a lot, in the last few months, and especially last month we talked about the practicals of being a disciple. Talk about being open, seeking advice, and talk about having a submissive spirit, imitation, and all these are all very, very important, and I hope that you have a chance to go through all those points and see how you can really grow in those areas and implement that, okay? And I think today's lesson will be not too long. It's also practical, okay? It's a continuation of last week. Talk about how we can be effective being a disciple, the practical that helps you work. And there's a few points here. First, we need to appreciate organization. And sometimes we don't want to be in an organization. You say, oh, it's an organized activity, I want to be free. But actually, nothing really happened a lot, without organizing. And then, me and my wife, we run a few companies in Thailand, also run a company here in Cambodia. Without organization, all you can, people who are responsible for more things, you really do need organization. Without organization, nothing can really get done. I remember when I first moved to Cambodia about 3.5 years ago. And I tried to help my dad in doing one of his construction projects here in Cambodia. And there's no organization, just family, just talk. There's no hierarchy, who is in charge, nothing. That project literally kills me. Me and my wife said, well, how do you do a project like this? There's no organization, who is in charge? Everybody's like, there's nothing can be done. Even though you have the money to invest, but because there's no organization, very, very difficult to get things done, So when you want to achieve something good, you need to have a good organization. Even in the Bible, Exodus 18, hopefully those older Christians, you have read Old Testament before, Moses is in charge, like a few million people. Everybody has a problem, come to Moses, everybody. So Moses is working very hard, and trying to help everyone, love everyone and deal with all the problems. But his father-in-law saw him and said, no, this is not good. You need to organize. Organize leaders of thousands, of hundreds, 50s, and 10s, So all the problems can go to different levels. Only the difficult one comes to you. So really, to get things done, needs met, you need to organize things. Even in New Testament, Acts chapter 6, when the church are growing, their needs be met, and they overlook the widows, their needs. So they organize and they appoint deacons and helping to meet the needs, so that the apostle can devote more of their time to evangelism and prayer. And I think this is important. We need to organize in a way that we can have discipling relationship. I'm sorry. So I think the Acts chapter 6, the church is growing very fast and there's some needs are not being met. So the apostles appoint deacons, 6 of them, to meet those needs. So they organize it very well, so people's needs can be met, and so that people can continue to grow. So sometimes you say, oh, you can't really legislate a relationship, you know, because you cannot control who I'm going to be friends with spiritually. Why you assign me to this discipling relationship? I really know. But you know, I mean, sometimes, true, sometimes relationship doesn't grow naturally. It's like, naturally, I'll be best friend to person. Naturally, I'll be best friend to the other person. How many natural relationships can grow? Very little. You know, you need to organize the way so that in an environment you can build up, encourage, you know, those relationships. That's why we do have discipling partner in the church here. So one of the things why I joined this church, you know, is because they have discipling relationships, and there are many churches around the world believe the same thing we believe in. You know, many restoration churches around the world, much bigger than ours worldwide. But we don't want to be part of that because there's not much of a discipling relationship. Because we believe what we talk about discipling in the last few months is important, you know, for our spiritual growth. You know, that's why we need organization or hope. You have a discipleship partner. You know, and if you still don't have a discipleship partner, you know, please, you know, ask the leaders, ask whoever it is, you know, trying to get one. But if you do have a discipleship partner and you don't get together, I think that is something that you have to decide on your own. Do you really want it? And nobody can force you to have that relationship. Only you yourself, you know, if you want to grow spiritually, you will like to seek those relationships. So even though, you know, we can do our best to assign you a different relationship, you are the one responsible yourself to want to have that relationship. Nobody can force you to have those relationships. But if we want to grow, you know, if you want to be like Jesus, you know, we want to have an organization that can promote that can help us to be more and more like Jesus. So that's why we need those kind of discipling relationships. Okay? Next, you know, another key about being disciple. You need to think of kind of friendship. You know, sometimes our people assign us a relationship. We say, oh, we are so different. You know, or we are so much alike. But this guy, I'm prideful, and that guy's so prideful, it just drives me crazy. You know, maybe that is the Laban. You know, I'm not sure you know Old Testament about the Laban principle. You know, Jacob, he's a deceiver. So, but he's very good at deceiving. But God said, I want to teach you. So he put him to be with his father-in-law, who is even much better at deceiving him. You know, so he took decades to learn. At the end of a few decades, Jacob finally become more spiritual man. You know, and sometimes God will put someone in your life, whether you like it or not. Sometimes you have to fight through. You have to develop the kind of the best friend spiritual relationship. You know, with determination. It's not that, oh, this person, I don't like it, I just don't want it. You know, in the kingdom, we have very special because we have a chance to get to know a lot of different people. Imagine I wasn't a Christian. The chances of I knowing you is very little. The chances of you knowing me also very little. But in the church, you know, I'm amen. And thanks God for that. You know, a lot, you know, last few months, and I'm talking about Queen. You know, I mean, how can I have a chance to even know a person like this? You know, if I wasn't a Christian. So I'm just grateful, you know, for people like this in my life, and I hope that as a disciples, you know, we have a lot of opportunity to meet many different kinds of people. And then in the kingdom, we learn how to build relationships all the time. Because we are being discipled to become more like Jesus. And you know what? Jesus loves everyone. And he wants to have a great relationship with everyone. So the more we learn to be like Christ, the more we have more relationship, the more that we will love one another much deeper, because God is love. So the more that we want to grow, the more kind of discipling relationship we can get deeper. I remember one time back in the States, after I spent 1 year in Hong Kong, and then the church grew so fast. I was young, I was 20 something. I was young man like you guys, and I was I'm so good, I helped so many people. I go back to the States, study, and someone assigned me a few people, disciple me. I always think they're not good enough, because I'm in a mission team. Oh, God really teaches me, and people who, if I mention name, you don't know him, but people that I should have learned more from them. They are spiritual. A lot of them who has involved in their lives. Some of them, there's up and down, but some of them are really good. They are working in the ministry, they're serving God in the States. And I wish when I was younger, spiritually, I have more humility to learn from them. God always put people in our life in a way that we can learn from each other. And I hope that you are young right now. And sometimes when we are young, we tend to think we are so cool. I understand. I was young before. Okay, and I think this person is not good enough. Of course, we have no Jesus discipling us. Okay, on earth, you have to accept that fact. And we have no Jesus around. But we can learn from one another. God even put Laban's, Jacob's father-in-law, Laban, is a wicked guy to disciple him. So who knows, what kind of people put in your life. And then there is, to develop a great friendship, if you think of in terms of friendship, don't think in terms of who is discipling, think it's about being a friend. There's 4 different ways that you can build a good friendship. One of the things is, I think the fundamental, the most important, probably number 1 is open up your hearts to one another. You can't really have one-sided relationship. One person say, I want to be your friend. I share with you all my struggles. I share with you all my sins, and the other one just keep quiet. Just trying to teach you only. I give you suggestion only. That doesn't work, okay? So that doesn't work. You have to, both ways need to have humility towards each other. I appreciate that. Last week I spent a little time with, last week me and one time, and my wife, we were talking about the world. I thought this is our discipling time, everybody leave. And then one time I said, no, I need to spend a little time alone. My wife said, well, what's going on? So one time really I want to find a good time just to open up some struggle he has. So we really appreciate that. I also, I also spent some time. I also open out something that, I'm trying to be real. We're not Jesus. We're all sinners. So we need to be real with each other. And we're all sinners before God, and we want to help each other, to grow. Opening up our hearts is very important. So if you are not open, if you don't trust, and I think you are losing your opportunity that you have God put in your life. So that is the key for you to grow. Okay, if you without open heart, it's so hard for you to grow to be like Christ. You need to have that. Fight for that. If you need to have humility, amen. Pray for it. I tell you what, I was prideful, okay? Even today I'm still prideful, but before I was really prideful, And then I think I'm so cool, I come from a good family, I have education, I think really ridiculous, But the key to humility, okay, is not a medicine for you to eat, or some concept for you to think. Nothing. Actually, when I remember years ago, when I was a discipler told me, it's just a decision. Nothing. If you know you are prideful, the only way to do it, to be humble, is just to decide. That's it. Nothing. That's the only thing you can do. Okay? And that is the the key for you to be humble is to make a decision. That's all. Then nothing. You know, you need to see yourself as prideful, of course. Then you make a decision to stay humble. Okay. I hope humility is what God really bless in all this relationship. You know, even though you have a disciple is not as good, but if you are humble, God will bless your relationship and let you grow. You know, that is what God is looking at. Okay? So second point is to serve one another. You know, I mean, it's great. You know, we study the Bible together, fighting the spiritual war together. You know, me and Audie, we have a great friendship. You know, I think one of the good friendship is we fight together, study Bible together. We study Bible online together. You are in Cambodia, I'm in Bangkok. The guy study in Vietnam. You know, I mean, so we are there together, even though we are far away. You know, we are always together. We serve together. Okay, I hope you can serve the poor together too. You know, I think this is something that I feel like we might be lacking here. You know, that which I personally feel like living in a country that with a lot of poor people around us. That we want to be more involved. You know, and yeah. So I appreciate people like, you know, coming from first world country, America, from Hong Kong. Oh yeah, we need to welcome Jack. And right? And she's been here for a couple of months. I didn't realize she's going to be part of ministry only recently. So Jack is just moving in from Hong Kong. So they're going to stay with singles ministry. So as long as they want to stay. And I heard that just pray for Jack, and you know, God changed his heart, and he already. Did you get a job? So you plan to stay? Maybe. I'm gonna put the pressure on you, okay? There's a high possibility. I'm gonna put him on the spot. There's high possibility that he'll stay here for 1 year because he got a new job offer from North Bridge. Let's pray about that. You know, who knows? You know. The change of plans in the future. Okay, so we need living in a country like this. You know, I think it's good that we are able to serve the poor. You know, and our life will evolve with more. We talk about that in the future. Okay, so I hope that you have the heart on your own to serve and to help each other. You know, if there's disciples are weak, you go and visit together. If people are struggling, you got D time together, you know. And then sometimes Audie and me, we give some advice because we are older. We see a lot more in life. You know, we go through a lot more. We are all in your 50s, right? So you guys are all in your 20s.
I'm 50.
So hopefully, not just older in age, hopefully we are more mature, okay?
I'm not so sure.
So by being a little bit more mature, so we want sometimes we got together, we serve together, we talk to people together, try to help them in their career move, try to give them advice what they can do, you know. So we serve together. I hope you can have that kind of relationship. Okay, next. You know, it's been praying together. Okay, I think that this is what I think we have been doing too little. You know, and then we need to spend more time in this. You know, Gordon, Ferguson, he talked about this. That you know, before we call ourselves a discipleship partner, they years ago, decades ago, they are called prayer partners. You know, that is what they call each other. They pray together. You know, but actually, you know, praying together is not enough. You need to disciple each other too. So right now we call discipleship partner, but we forgot about praying partner. You know, but we you can know praying, you know, together is this. You know, is also very important. You know, sometimes we need to pray. You know, the long period of time should be we need to schedule that. And next is play together. So, and that's one I think we should. I sometimes people think I'm very serious, you know, but I hope I'm not so serious. I need to play. So I play a lot of tennis myself. So I think about a few months ago we have tried to play bowling, right? So and then karaoke, fun. Yeah, Vincent came and you know, we have fun. No, we need to have those things a lot more. Okay, you cannot just just talk about confess the sins all the time, you know, and not doing anything else, you know, and every week the same, you know. It's a bit tough, you know, those kind of relationship. It's not so much like a friend. You know, a friend, you do a lot more than that, all right? So these are the four key areas. You know, if you focus on this, I know your friendship will definitely grow. Okay, so in the kingdom, we are blessed to have friends. You know, in the world, a lot of people really hard to find friends. Okay, and then even in the kingdom, I hope you're open enough to have the friends. Sometimes in the church, you know, we thought it's easy, but it's not so easy too. You know, you have to make the effort. You know, you have to initiate. Okay, you don't just wait for the other one to initiate the relationship. You know, I think one of the Dan's friends when we moved to Singapore, Lily, you know, always initiating all the time. So until like, you know, she won her heart and they become best friends until today. So next month I think they'll come visit us too, right? So, but anyway, so we need to be initiated, you know, initiate the relationship. Okay, another key to have, you know, a good disciple relationship is to have to keep our expectation reasonable. Okay, let's read Hebrews chapter 5, verse 11 to 14. Can someone read that? Can someone read that in command? Hebrew 5.
Ông chơi vòng.
Dương nhóm miên sự đây chỉ trơn nâng hạt bài thì lục nục đây thì bác cùng dùl bất nhẹ rột ní ban trở lọc chi trồng nơi nâng cả bắt chỗ ai nhẹ rột ní ban phương chỉ pru rồi pru chưa chỉ dù một hơi tái nhẹ rột ní trời cả hơi tu bằng liên đèn lâm và bọc và thông sắc xa đâyเป็นตู้ดอกเปียกហើយមិនត្រូវការការរឹងគឺត្រូវការនឹងទឹកដក់វិញ14បាត់អស់អ្នករាល់គ្នាដែលទទួលទានទឹកដោះនោះមិនប្រសពខាងឯព្រះបន្ទូលនៃសេចក្តីសុចរិតទេពីព្រោះអ្នកនោះជាកូនតូចនៅឡើយឯអាហាររឹងនោះសម្រាប់តែមនុស្សធំដែលបានមកហាត់អន្ត្រីដោយធ្លាប់ខ្លួនហើយដើម្បីឲ្យបានដឹងខុសត្រូវ
See, these disciples, people have been Christian for a number of years, and they have not grown as they supposed to be. And the Hebrews writer talk about how you need to grow, you know. And then it says that train yourself, you know, to be godly. Train yourself, you know, to distinguish good from evil. You know, it's not other people who train you. You yourself train yourself. You know, there's one time someone going to talk about someone preach a sermon. You know how to be trained to be a disciple. First, you need to train by God for sure. You know, Romans 8, God works out all things for the good for those who love Him, you know, according to His, for those who love Him according to His good purpose. Of course, we are trained by God. You know, and next we are trained by our discipling relationship by one another. You know, one-on-one relationship. We've been talking about that for a few months already. So that is also very important. Okay. So, but here, Hebrews 5 say you have to train yourself. Okay. The reason why you're not growing because you never train yourself. You just sit there and just expect them to feed you all the time. Imagine my feed Adam and Amy, just feed them. They don't grow up and feed themselves. You know, and how can you know they need to learn how to feed themselves too. You know, they need to grow up. All right. So we need to train ourselves. You know, we cannot expect someone tell us, how we can grow, how we can change everything. But we need to take responsibility. The way we are at today, the way I'm at today, spiritually, not other people, not my disciple. My disciple response is me myself. I'm the only one who is responsible for where I'm at today. If you are humble enough, you want to grow, you will seek about, you will change, you'll do whatever it takes. And this here is very important. And then sometimes we, in our personal pride, we always think, oh, this person is not good enough, that person is not good enough to help me. Be reasonable. We are not going to have Jesus to train us. We are human beings who are sinners, every one of us. But we can learn from one another. There are always some people who are good at something, who are more like Jesus in our life. We can learn from one another. If God put him there, or her there, for a reason, whether you learn about the good quality of that person, or sometimes the bad thing in that person you need to avoid too, put in your life. You just stay humble about that and be submissive towards God's plan. Okay. So you need to keep the expectation reasonable. Okay, next, you have to value accountability. In Luke 9, verse 10, we have read this before, but I'll read it again. Yeah, we need to value accountability. Can someone read that? Luke 9, verse 10. Anyone had comment? Luke 9.
ลูកាចំពុក4 ខ10ការពួកសេវៈបានត្រឡប់មកវិញក៏រាយរឿងទូលព្រះយេស៊ូវពីការដែលគេបានធ្វើទាំងប៉ុន្មាននោះទ្រង់នាំគ្នាទៅដោយឡែកនៅទីស្នាក់ចិត្តភូមិមួយឈ្មោះបេសៃណា
So Jesus sends a travel out to do something. When they come back, Jesus did not just let them, they have to report back to Jesus. Not only with the 12, with the 72, same thing. They come back and talk to Jesus. Jesus continues to teach them, continue to talk to them. The assigned accountability is very important. That's what Jesus did. In my company, I have to be, make sure there's accountability. Nobody will do whatever on their own. All these hotel managers, you will not let staff do everything on their own. You have to be accountable. You have to report how many people came. What is the income. We have to be accountable. Very important. So for companies to grow, you have to be accountable. For a church to grow, spirituality, we need to value that. It's important. It is a very important quality. But again, to be a good disciple, the common enemy in all areas is always pride. We value in our own pride. We say, oh, I don't want you to control me. I don't want you to be accountable. I want to be accountable. But that is just our rebellious, attitude. I think we need accountability in many areas. And then I think being accountable in the area of purity, especially for men. All my computer, all my phone, all my stuff. I have to pay money for this accountability program called Confident Eyes. When I look at something bad, you report to my wife and Cesar Lopez. And then maybe somebody, we need that. Okay, we need that. If you know this is the area that you need help, okay, we even willing to pay money to do it. Okay, so you want that. Okay, but and then accountability is designed for us to do something we already want. It's not what you don't want. If you do not want, and then we ask for accountability, you got very frustrated. Okay, so I hope I hope every one of us here have been baptized, with a few visitors, okay, but have been baptized to put Jesus Lord in your life, okay. I hope that you really want to grow your life to be like Jesus. I hope this is your goal in life, okay. I hope this is your goal in life, and this should be your main goal in life too, okay, as a Christian. If it is not, then accountability will be a burden for you, okay, and accountability will be very difficult for you, and will a lot of heartache. And I think this is a situation that we have to address in this group. There are a number of us, even though you're a member of the church here, God is the judge, okay, but I personally think they did not put Jesus Lord in their life. So when we talk about accountability, about putting Jesus first, God first, we have tons and tons of resistance, and nothing we can do, okay, we just can tell you what God wants us to do, but you have to make your own decision that that's what you want. If that's not what you want, then accountability is not something you appreciate. It's something you won't be rebellious about. But you have to really make the decision of your own life as a Christian. And then in one area of accountability, especially I think in Cambodia, is not, being worldly. In Cambodia, it's a society filled with so much worldliness. I live here for a short period of time. It's not a rich country, but this country is filled with the most expensive car on the streets per square meters, highest density in the whole wide world. People want to look good, okay? Looks expensive, looks nice. It's just like this. People just want to get rich. They never rich before. But even though you get rich, that is not a goal as a Christian. If you're not Christian, you want to do it, amen, I'm happy for you. But if you're a Christian, if you get rich, amen. If not get rich, it's not a big deal because that's not even our goal. This is just part of our life. I really appreciate Jack. Being a nurse in Hong Kong and being a nurse in Cambodia, that I did not ask him the difference, but I think it's a few 100% difference, okay? I'm pretty sure. A few 100% difference, not a few, like 20, 30%, a few 100% difference. But it's not important, And it's so fun. That's a good example of her that my wife told me that she got a job offer to go somewhere, I'm not sure which country, Burma, Myanmar, whatever. But there's no church and no discipling. What's the point? Double the pay, so no useless. But I hope that your life is not about making money. Okay? If this is it, then accountability, what we talk about, is become argument and nonsense. Make no sense. And that's what happened to many of you actually right now. This is real. So I hope you really take this lesson. In public, in private, become personal argument. In public, I hope that this is talking to you. Okay, there's a few of you like this, but I hope that you really take this serious because it's between you and God. Okay, and I hope that God will bless us. Bless our life, and if we put God first. Matthew 6:33. If we seek first His kingdom, it's not just seeking. Everybody is seeking. But the key is seek first. Okay, the first. Okay, if you seek first His kingdom, that's God's promise. God will take care of your life. Amen. So we need accountability in helping us to stay humble, stay pure, stay not worldly. Do you want that, or you just say let it grow? And then we need to appreciate all these things. And next, I think this is the last thing about today. We talk about schedule for success. Okay, with two scriptures first. In Mark chapter 3, 14 and Hebrews 3, 12, 13. And one person read Mark 3 and one person read Hebrews 3.
រួចទ្រង់តម្រូវ12នាក់ឲ្យបាននៅជាមួយនឹងទ្រង់ដើម្បីទ្រង់បានចាប់គេឲ្យចេញទៅប្រកាសប្រដៅ
Okay, great. So another one.
អេប្រូ បានជាអាចស្បត់ទាំងកំហឹងថាវារាល់គ្នាមិនសូវចូលទៅក្នុងសេចក្តីសម្រេចរបស់ខាងសពឡើយតែចូលកំឡាចិត្តគ្នាទៅវិញទៅមកជារបស់ថ្ងៃវិញហើយកាលដែលនៅតែហៅថាថ្ងៃនេះនៅឡើយក្រែងអ្នករាល់គ្នាណាមួយមានចិត្តរឹងរូសដោយសេចក្តីបញ្ឆោតរបស់ព្រះបាទ
Okay, I think we are very familiar with Hebrew 3. We've been talking about this quite a number of times. You know, even in Mark 3, Jesus appointing the 12 to be with him. You know, I think the apostle need to be with Jesus in person. You know, not just God teaching, you know, in heaven, you know, through the prophet. But you need to see Jesus in person so that Jesus, to see Jesus model the lesson, you know, that they need to be learned. You know, they need to see him in person to learn from him. And even Hebrew 3 talk about, you know, having a daily contact. You know, we need to have those daily contact. You know, we need to be together. You know, to contact someone that we can be open about, you know, things in the temptation level. It's difficult to when we have a relationship a bit shallow, we only meet once a week or twice a week, and then we have some kind of temptation in our heart, or struggle in our heart. It's hard to say, they call you, especially for men and women, still call each other. Men, hey bro, you know, I just struggle with this. That. You know, it's good, awkward. But if you have a friendship on a daily basis, you know, say hello, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, or sometimes it can be 10 minutes, or if you have something to talk, you know. But you know, it's easy to share. It doesn't take like us, you know, we have 24 hours, you know, 2-3 minutes, 5. It's not going to be a long. No, I mean, make you know, we are so busy that we cannot afford that time. But having this kind of a daily kind of relationship, because the Bible says, you know, see to your brothers that none of you have a sinful, unbelieving heart. You know, how to do that is to encourage one another daily. Okay, this is the Bible's teaching, and I hope that I know it's difficult for us, it's difficult for me, but this is what the Bible teaches. And we need to encourage one another daily, and then confirm again as long as it's called today. You know, he said twice. Make sure that the daily thing is really means daily and not weekly. Now we take it as weekly, seriously. You know, and we always read it daily, but we interpret practically as weekly. Now we are not obeying the Bible, and that's why we fall in the sins. That's why we are not growing. That's why we have to be slow in growth. You know, if you really want to grow spiritually, because we are being deceived by Satan on a daily basis, we tempted to sin every single day. We need that encouragement as a Christian. Okay. If we are fighting against the war, the spiritual war, it's the spiritual forces of the darkness in Hebrew. No, what's that? Ephesians 6, right? So we need that. Okay. I know it's a bit awkward to do it at first, but we need to try our best. I don't want to be legalistic. You know, like for me and Audie, you know, we meet together at church on Sunday, right? And then Monday sometimes we bro get together. Tuesday sometimes Tuesday, Wednesday maybe I try. Right now I try a little bit. And then Thursday usually a Bible study with someone, you know, face to face. You know, Friday sometimes with midweek. Like yesterday it's Friday, right? So I feel like, well, I was preparing this lesson. We don't have a daily relationship. We try. So I just text it. Hey, Audie, Are you free? When you're free, please give me a call. So he called me back. So we talked a little bit on the phone, share a bit, 2-3 minutes. That doesn't take a long time. So today we meet. So hopefully, we grow in that. It's not difficult to have a daily relationship. If we try. Okay, I know it's difficult, but if we try, it is not difficult.